battle silently raging. Battle that the Dublin Council is waging against its most vulnerable citizens.
They take your tents in away when you're not there, when you're not in them.
Our country is flawed and broken, and we need to fix it to get back to our former glory. I'm walking up to a spot where in January 2020 a homeless guy was in a tent, and a hydraulic hoist sent by Dublin Council lifted him and the tent to dispose of it, not knowing that he was in there. Legs are broken, God love him. His face went blue and he was rushed to Vincent's Hospital. I feel very sorry for the guy. I also feel sorry for the guy who wasn't trained properly and who wasn't told to be careful that there's people still in these tents. And I've just been up looking at a couple of tents that I thought were full. They're empty, but unless they're checked, you will not know. I was under the impression these clean-up operations had stopped. I really was, until I talked to Adam in town last week and was informed that they're still going on. There was a massive clean-up in town last week. The whole of Henry Street was cleared.
They take your tents in away when you're not there, when you're not in them, and like you see this van, and when you're in the tents, but they'd be like eyeing them up. It's like they have you on a timer thing. They'd be watching your every move you make and how long you're gone for. Say they could be there. Say you could be there for 2 or 3 days, and that van is passing by or whatever, and it watches when you leave, and it knows kind of your times that you'd be gone for 2 or 3 hours or even 4 hours, whichever, and when you're going to be back, kind of thing. Do you get me?
They come and they take your tents and all your stuff.
They take your thing in that time. And I was on Talbot Street one day walking up, and there was another homeless crowd, a couple that were sleeping by the Chinese restaurant by Sports Direct, and their tent was there and they weren't in it, and I seen that van spilling out their stuff and taking the tent, putting it in the back of the van, and I went over and I pulled the tent back out of the van and I put it back, and I stood there until the van left because it was someone's home and I was living in tents myself, and they done the same thing with mine. So
and you can't get your stuff back?
They'd spill it out in the street so anybody could take it, so your stuff would be gone if you're not there.
Where do they spill it out on the street?
Just where your tent, I could have a tent here, and they'd come and they'd spill out whatever's in the tent right there and just leave it there then, because there's something about it that if they take the tent with your belongings or something in it, even though the tent is yours anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
so it's just the tent they take?
Just the tent, and they let all your belongings out in the street and let anybody can see them, can take them, do whatever with them. It happened to us over behind, where the cinema is there.
Yeah.
We had a tent there, and we had 2 tents there actually that were taken in the space of 2 or 3 days. That's when I see that bandit taking the tent down there. There was literally about 5 or 6 tents there yesterday and the day before, and now if you walk down there you see about 2 of them, and you'd see another 3 of them that are thrown over the thing, all cut up and everything, like sliced as a thing. Do you know what I mean?
But who's doing that? That's not the same guys.
What I'm saying is the tents that were over on that side, on the right hand side, and the ones that were on the left, were good, strong, proper tents with canopy things and everything. And if you walk down there now, there's one of them left, but the other ones are, the small pop-up tents, and they're over there, but they were sliced, but the other ones are gone, where the other people are sleeping. There could be 2 of them, they're actually left there, but there was more there. They were all the exact same colour.
Are these vans the guards? Are they the Garda? The vans?
No.
Who are they?
They're Dublin clean Dublin Town or something they're called. It's an orange and blue kind of van.
Dublin City Council CEO Owen Keegan had this to say. He believes the homeless tents should be removed from the capital, that they add to the perception that the city is edgy. There are other aspects like the proliferation of tents, and I'll get into trouble for saying this, but we don't think people should be allowed to sleep in tents when there's an abundance of supervised accommodation in hostels. He said, "We remove tents, it's something we do. It's not very popular, but we do it because we don't believe it's appropriate. It adds to a perception of a city that's too edgy for some people, and people respond to it by saying, well, I just won't go into the city centre." So that's all very well. If there was an abundance of safe hostels, but there isn't, as we all know, a bomb went off in a hostel last month. People who are living on the streets will literally sleep in a tent in the rain rather than go into some of the hostels. So I'm going to go up now and have a look at the area where the homeless guy's tent was. So this is the spot here. I have to say it's pretty grim, right? You see, that is grim. The exact spot, which I would have thought was a pretty good place myself. Well off the road, sheltered, seems safe enough. Government seems to have walked away from huge problems. Behind closed doors, they're orchestrating a heartless demolition, destroying the only shelter these poor individual homeless people have. These tents represent hope and a flicker of survival amidst the harsh reality of homelessness. Dublin City Council claims that clearing out illegal structures, where else are these people supposed to go? The homeless have nothing and they don't have anywhere to go. They're giving them tents with one hand, sleeping bags, and they're taking away from them. They're not giving them any place to put these tents, so what the hell are they supposed to do? This heartless demolition strips them of their dignity and leaves them to face the unforgiven streets. Citizens are rising up, demanding change, calling for compassion. I'm urging the City Council to provide some real solutions. We need affordable housing, mental health support and meaningful job opportunities to break the cycle of homelessness. This situation needs to be unmasked. People don't know about this. The tents are just being pulled off the streets. These guys are left hanging. Their property scattered on the pavement for anyone to take. Dublin City Council's demolition and taking away these tents is just heartless.